I never thought our marriage could be in jeopardy. Our mornings, the coffee, the little conversations about work, the evenings in front of the TV, it all felt so normal. We laughed, we argued about trivial things, we supported each other. I thought I knew her completely, but sometimes life throws you something you never saw coming. Everything was routine. Alarm clocks buzzing at the same time, her brushing her hair the way I liked it, the smell of fresh coffee in the morning, the gentle hum of the washing machine in the background. Life wasn't perfect, but it was stable. I cherished that stability, not realizing it was fragile like glass under pressure. I had no idea how quickly it could shatter. At first, I didn't notice anything, or maybe I did and dismissed it. A glance at her phone that lingered just a little too long, a subtle tension in her smile. She started taking longer at work, coming home with a distracted look, sometimes leaving late without explanation. I told myself I was imagining things. People get busy, right? Maybe she was stressed. Maybe I was just being paranoid. But a small, unshakable feeling began to take root. Something was off. The air between us changed, imperceptibly at first. Her laughter was quieter, her hugs shorter. Even when she said, "I love you," it sounded rehearsed, as if she were trying to convince herself. It happened on a Thursday. She asked me to email a file from her phone. Something simple, mundane. I unlocked her phone and went to her drafts. And there it was, a half-written message. Unsaved, unfinished. But the words were unmistakable. Longing, desire, betrayal. My hands shook as I read just enough to understand what was happening. She was seeing someone else. I froze. My mind refused to process it. For a long moment, I just stared at her, pacing the living room, completely unaware of the storm I had just stumbled into. I waited until she was done with dinner. My chest felt heavy, tight. I looked at her and said quietly, almost trembling, "I saw the email." Her face went pale. She didn't deny it. She just looked at me, and for the first time in years, I didn't recognize the woman sitting across from me. She started explaining, her voice trembling, trying to justify her choices. She spoke about loneliness, about feeling unseen, about wanting attention, and I felt something break inside me. The days after that were hell. Anger, sadness, disbelief. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I replayed every memory, trying to find the moment I should have noticed, blaming myself for missing signs that, in hindsight, were obvious. Every glance at her, every laugh, every touch was loaded with meaning I couldn't ignore. My trust was fractured, my love shaken, and I didn't know if I could ever rebuild it. I wish I could tell you that when she started talking, everything clicked into place. That her explanation, no matter how painful, made sense. But honestly, it didn't. She was quiet for a long time, just staring at the table, twisting her wedding ring with her thumb. "It wasn't supposed to happen," she finally said. "Someone from work. It started accidentally, I didn't plan it." Months. Months of small lies, of little betrayals hidden behind smiles, kisses, and shared routines. She admitted she hadn't been happy, felt unseen, like we were just roommates. Hearing that broke something inside me I didn't even know was fragile. I didn't know how to feel. Part of me wanted to scream, to throw things, to punish her and myself. Another part just wanted to disappear, to run far away and forget everything. We existed in a strange limbo. Talking felt dangerous. Touching felt impossible. Silence was suffocating. Every time I looked at her, I saw both the woman I loved and the one who had betrayed me. Eventually, I realized that if I wanted any chance of healing, I had to make a conscious choice. Either leave and protect myself, or stay and try to rebuild trust. We started small, honest conversations about work, boundaries, and expectations, counseling, daily check ins. Every step forward was cautious and deliberate. Intimacy didn't return overnight, Trust didn't magically rebuild itself. Every hug, every shared meal, every kiss was loaded with tension, uncertainty, and the weight of memory. Some days were good. We laughed, we shared quiet mornings over coffee. We touched without fear. Other days, the past returned with a vengeance. I imagined her with him. I recalled her hidden smiles, her distracted moments. Anxiety clawed at my chest like a living thing. I wrote in a journal. I meditated. I talked to friends I trusted. I had to find a way to separate reality from fear, to understand what had happened without letting it consume me. Gradually, small victories emerged. She answered difficult questions without hesitation. She let me look at her phone openly. She explained things that I had assumed. I began to see glimpses of the woman I married. Laughing in the kitchen, brushing her hair behind her ear, asking me about my day. These moments didn't erase the betrayal, but they reminded me that love could still exist alongside pain. Emotional closeness returned slowly. Physical intimacy followed, carefully, step by step. Hand-holding felt deliberate. Hugs were conscious. Even kisses had a weight, a meaning I had never noticed before. We began rebuilding not from innocence, but from experience, from a shared understanding of fragility and pain. Every touch became a choice, every conversation a declaration of commitment. Counseling helped. Therapy gave us tools to express anger, frustration, and longing without destroying each other. We set boundaries, transparency about friendships, honest discussion about feelings, no hidden secrets. Rebuilding trust wasn't just about preventing betrayal, it was about creating a safe, resilient, emotional space. I still feared betrayal. I still imagined worst-case scenarios. But I learned to pause, breathe, and remind myself of the evidence in front of me. Her consistent honesty, her openness, her willingness to rebuild. It wasn't perfect, it never would be. But imperfect can still be strong. Over time, our routines returned. Shared mornings, evening talks, weekend rituals. But everything had changed. Trust was rebuilt slowly, deliberately. Love existed, but it was more intentional, more conscious. We learned to choose each other every day, aware that love could be fragile, but also resilient. Betrayal doesn't have to define the end. Healing is deliberate. Intimacy is emotional as well as physical. Boundaries are vital. Would I go through it again? No. Would I try to rebuild love after betrayal? Absolutely, if both people are willing. I still love her. The shadow of betrayal will never fully vanish, but love can survive, evolve, and transform even after the deepest wounds. For anyone struggling with infidelity, it will hurt. It may break you, but surviving it and making conscious choices about love is an act of courage, and it shapes you forever.